This is episode 397 of GI Joburg. My name is Steve. I'm joined by my main man,
Paul, and who's this criminal over here down here?
Oh, it's me, Rob. I'm here too, guys. Hello, welcome.
Quick fire topic. What's your favorite GI Joe toy from the year 1997?
Oh, 1997. It has to be Atomic Stomp Flint, my absolute favorite figure ever in the world.
Too bad he's from 2002. Try
Oh,
again.
I was close.
1997.
close.
My favorite GI Joe figure from '97.
Yeah.
Apparently, it was not having GI Joes. It was loneliness.
Oh.
It was Lego or something. And McFarlane toys.
You weren't enjoying the retro diver figure from '97?
Well, I'll tell you what I was enjoying was your Warthog, your Thunderbolt 2, your Rattler reskin, the GI Joe version from the 15th anniversary.
Incomplete.
No, well, I thought it was incomplete. When you dropped it off at my place for the first time, it didn't have the tail plane, didn't have the horizontal stabilizers and vertical stabilizers. So I thought, oh crap, budget. This box had been tampered with. You got it out of steel, so I guess this is an incomplete plane. But no, you just had that part just lying around at home somewhere. You brought it the next time. I was like, yes, this is amazing. So my first experience with the venerable Rattler was as a GI Joe vehicle.
But it didn't come with Hawk.
No, it didn't come with Hawk or Ace. But that's how you got it for like 50 Rand or something.
Yeah.
Now, back in the day, that was probably $10 US. $10 US. No, about 15.
15. But yeah, love it.
Madness. And this is
I used to love. This is episode 397. That's why we're talking about 1997. No, I'm just being flippant. I thought, hey, when I was doing the intro, I was like, 97. There were GI Joe toys in 97.
It
was the 15th anniversary of the A-Raw collection. Wow. Now, I used to love doing a sort of a Marty McFly maneuver with that A10. I used to always have Joes like get themselves backed up into a corner in some Cobra controlled like skyscraper, and they'd fall backwards off a rooftop, and then up comes the GI Joe vertical takeoff and landing attack aircraft, the Thunderbolts, whatever it is, the Warthog, the A10, and then it would absolutely mince whatever opposition was on the rooftop with that chin gun.
They never saw it coming. No matter how many times GI Joe did it to them, they were just.
And this was pre the Matrix, so that minigun sequence where is it Trinity in the back of the Huey, or was it Neo? Oh no, Trinity's flying. Neo's got the minigun. And well, that's. Look, maybe these things happened at the same time because, of course, we didn't get that plane in 1997.
Well, of course,
we got it 2 years after the fact. But bottom line, huge influences and maximum fun with that toy. So yes, I guess I'll take all your turns. Place that as number one. But gentlemen, what are we talking about in episode 397? Please enlighten everybody. Paul?
Well, Reaction Plus has some new toys to show off. There have been 1 or 2 small classified announcements. We watched the cartoon and we read a comic book, but I don't know if I want to tell the listeners / viewers which cartoons and which comic books those are, because I kind of feel like we should surprise and entice them so that they watch the whole episode.
Hopefully it's in the thumbnail, but if it's not, we used to do this on the regular. We used to do a rewatch of a classic cartoon, a classic comic book, a rewatch of a comic book, a reread of a comic book, and then mix it up by having sort of in reverse order a new comic book and a new episode of the TV show. It happened to be Renegade, and it used to be the IDW GI Joe series, because I was trying in my earnestness to get you guys to read the entire IDW series and get Rob to watch all of the cartoons. So we'd have this kind of common denominator, common baseline of like GI Joe knowledge. But no, you know what? the beauty of GI Joburg is we all bring something different to the party.
But
I love bringing my ignorance to
to the party. To the party.
But look, it became difficult to get you guys to read the IDW, and I don't blame you. It is very cyclical. It is very repetitive. It doesn't have that newness that the comic books have. Yeah. So eagle-eyed listeners or people with just long memories or people who perhaps are doing a re-listen to G.I. Joburg episodes might be able to ascertain that where we left off was issue 11, Pipeline Ploy. So we're going to go with issue 12,
Three Strikes Snake Eyes.
And Cobra Soundwaves from the Sunbow animated series.
Very excited to watch this episode. I'm expecting great Transformers action in this thing.
So if you'd like to jump the gun, or not jump the gun, if you'd like to do some homework, now's your chance to pause. No, we're going to do the news. Then we'll give you a point at which you can pause.
While we're talking about the news, watch and read. Do it all at the same time. Put it on your iPad. Read the issue. Read it.
Well, we do.
And then watch the cartoon on Hasbro's official YouTube channel.
I actually found it somewhere else. There are other YouTube channels that are putting out stuff that is probably completely owned, in every way, shape, and form by Hasbro.
Don't name them, otherwise Hasbro's gonna knock them out.
Well, YouTube should be figuring it out, but maybe they've found a loophole. Like, one of my favorite G.I. Joe YouTube channels gets away with using all of the Sunbow music cues by just slowing them down.
Whoa!
If ever I've listened to his show, he's got all the cues playing sequentially right the way through his video, and I'm sure he's getting away with it because why would he give up his ad revenue to Hasbro?
Beautiful.
On a silly technicality like that. You just slow it down, and that foxes the YouTube algorithm. Anyway, I hope I've not just screwed him up by putting that on record.
Yeah,
Skynet is listening.
And that was our YouTube tips from GI Joburg.
If you are in the know, if you know GI Joe channels, you might know who I'm talking about. And
guys,
leave a comment if you know.
If you know, say I know.
Show me you're as insidery as I think.
Come on, guys, you're in the inside.
And while you at it, buy yourself some Berg coin.
Do it. I love me a Berg coin.
Paulie, just a quick technical check. You're not the Zartan this weekend, by any chance?
No, I'm not Zartan. I'm not.
For anyone who listened to the last episode, Paul was very Zartan.
I de-Zartan.
But since we were talking about the Dreadnought Swamp Fire, having Paul in the kind of reverb effect, kind of. You should have done that kind of rock opera voice.
I should have. If I had known.
I love the Cobra Swamp Fire.
If I had known, because then a gem of that size would have answered all of my questions. But yeah. Unfortunately, that's just how it went. And listen, full disclosure, I did try to thin it, like to try and get it back to normal. And
we'll
I just couldn't.
Dude, you teed yourself up there, man. Talk to me about Pythona.
Okay, well, I want to do this properly. So
show off her gem.
So
her
jewel. So yeah, as we were saying like earlier, Reaction Plus is coming out with a small handful of great toys once again. Well, maybe I've what's the word? Exposed myself now by saying that. But I'm very excited. I mean, this is why I know I say this every time we do any kind of Reaction Plus reveal or discussion, but this is why I wanted Reaction Plus in the first place. This is what Super 7 is fulfilling the dream for us. It is releasing figures, that we typically wouldn't have received in the 80s for, myriad reasons. But here we have Pythona in all of her glory. And I got to say, I'm very happy with her, at least from what I've seen. I know some of you listening have already got your hands on one, which is awesome. I'd love to know how you did that.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Wow. It's insane. They literally announced this thing, less than a week ago, and suddenly people have the figures. I'm just lucky.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of Super 7's tactic, though. I feel like they kind of shadow drop these things and then make sure that the stock is available instead of.
How they're able to avoid leaks then? Because they're able to get this so far into production that they're ready to ship before they show the renders, before they show the the packaging art. Like that's insane to me.
It's
like
it's
there's
a
no one
great way of
sitting at the
doing it, though.
factory.
Yeah,
Like I
he's like
guess
setting up little
maybe this line isn't as hot as classified. Maybe you don't have guys at the factory taking pictures and like watermarking them and
yeah, like clamoring,
putting them
like,
out.
"Oh, look at this code that Toys R Us will soon be receiving. What does this little code mean? What figure
Yeah.
could that be?"
No,
They
Drunk
just like,
Jackal. Oh, it
here
must
it
be a new
is.
Flint.
You know, it's like almost anti-hype. It's like, oh, look what's coming next for us. By the way, it's available right now in shops. I mean, I think that's a great way of doing it. It's just like, look how cool this thing is. You really don't have to wait. It's out there right now.
Yeah, they've definitely copped onto that. That's their strategy right now. They also have a very limited launch window as well. It seems like, at least from what I've seen, there are certain they've stuck to their guns with exclusives. So Zaymot and Tomax you cannot get anymore, but they have sort of reissued some previous releases.
Oh really?
Yeah, I've seen them back in. So I think that's kind of, it's interesting. Maybe they've reissued it, or maybe they
Snake
just had
eyes.
excess stock and they forwarded it on to the toy stores, to the distributors.
Who knows?
But yeah, they do kind of push this whole narrative of, if you don't get them, you're going to miss them. So they are playing a bit of a FOMO game. So that's a good marketing tactic if you want to just keep you want to keep yourself in the black, on your books and stuff like that, which is good. Get stuff moving, get merchandise moving, make money. Anyway, back to
If
Pythona.
we have friends that have Pythona in hand, why hasn't YouTube got a review up by now?
Yeah,
what gives, man?
Yeah,
why are we
I've been looking.
I don't want to look at a digital render when someone actually has the physical toy.
Yeah,
come on,
give me the physical stuff.
And also, like, there's one particular Bergforce member that I'm speaking to now. The photos that you've posted of your figures are amazing, and thank you. But why are we not seeing close-ups of Pythona, my dude? Like, give us the juice, man. Like, we've all seen a Destro, you know what I mean? Like, okay, but like, also, let me not overplay my hand. Thank God we got a Pythona that's official. For the most part, I think she's looking great. I really love a lot of the surface detail. And Steve and I have been speaking about this off air, back and forth here and there. And, I've kind of, in that conversation, it's kind of come out that I definitely feel, at least I feel, and I feel like Steven's also kind of there with me. So if I'm wrong, Steve, correct me. But it seems like Super 7 is trying to lock the design or the aesthetic of these toys between 83 and 85. Like, they're trying to keep a design, a GI Joe toy aesthetic from that era. Yes, it's also the cartoon kind of brought down into toy form, but these figures are more comparable to, as I said, GI Joe's released between 83 and 85, as opposed to GI Joe's released in the late 80s or early 90s. These just fit in better with your 80s Joes. So it seems like that is definitely an aesthetic. And I know a lot of people complain about Super 7 being maybe a bit too, I don't want to use the word bland, but they are they are kind of smoother sculpts. They have got a more slimmed down approach, and I think that is
I just
why.
found a picture of the actual toy.
Nice.
Dark Star Vintage on YouTube. On Instagram.
What? Oh,
let me hide
She's
my.
got weird arms, my guys. She's got skinny arms.
thank goodness. Because, like, yeah, if they are hitting that earlier, like, GI Joe design, like, the feminine figures aren't as feminine as I personally would like them to be. Like, they don't have to be like super like sexy, but like have them be a little bit more feminine. Like definitely it just does look like an earlier Joe, where like it's essentially a rectangle.
Scarlet.
Scarlet's
got some curves.
He's got a bit of curves. Yeah. I think
the render makes it look very boxy.
Yes. That's my only issue with this. But yeah, I'm loving the texturing. It looks like Pythona. The head sculpt is fantastic. I'm hoping that the hair stays out of the way enough for her to move her head.
Yes, that's one of my concerns.
At a good rate. But obviously, yeah. So far, they've also the head sculpts and all of their figures are all they don't have the push forward, do they?
No,
They
they
just
don't.
do the side to side. So that is kind of matching up more to earlier GI Joes in the original raw.
Look,
figures.
the movie line figures have incorporated the ball joint.
Oh,
I have
okay.
I have Jinx, and she can.
Okay.
It's not great. It's not smooth. There's some clickiness to it, which is unwelcome. But it is not it's not a straight swivel.
Rob's affected.
Yeah. Well,
I actually haven't.
They got a ways to
mine.
go. It's interesting, like to retrospectively recreate something old comes with its fair share of challenges. You think all that knowledge is banked, we've moved beyond that, but yeah, we've moved so far from it that the O-ring is now a challenge to recreate.
What is old is new again, because the people who had that knowledge just aren't around to kind of like use it anymore. And the production processes aren't there anymore.
I always
Operation Recall might think otherwise, but yeah, that's another question that I've got. Maybe we'll save that for the back burner. But I have a curiosity when it comes to my Operation Recall order.
So I liken that kind of thing to sort of creating retro sounds in music when it comes to whether an indie band or you're making synthwave or whatever it is. The tools used to create those were very incidental. Like when a lot of those synthesizers came out, the Moog, etc., they weren't necessarily always a respected piece of music technology. So they ended up being kind of cheap, and that's why they were in the hands of people who made electronic music and who made those sounds, that new wave 80s sound. And then because of their popularity, those tools, sort of their popularity skyrocketed after the companies that made them had closed down. And so you got a lot of guys today trying to do the best they can to kind of retroactively, recreate these sounds through analog hardware, which is kind of a thing now because people want analog synthesis. And it is a lost art. There's a and it's cool that guys have tried to preserve it. So with the figures, with toys, it's an interesting thing because now you also got Super 7 trying to think like the dudes in the 80s, and you got Operation Recall who actually have the dudes from the 80s that know that. But then also manufacturing processes have changed, and people have come and gone. It's an interesting thing. Anyway, who else was revealed in this line? None other than Arctic Destro. They call him Arctic Destro, but forgive me here, listeners and viewers, but when I saw him, I thought, oh, cool, we're getting an O-ring version of his Resolute. Like that was my first impression, and actually, that was actually fine. It made me really like the toy. And then I realized, oh yeah, he does actually have a, this whole thing going on. And guys, apparently, according to some comments I've seen on Facebook posts now of said Berg Force members' toys, this Destro is apparently the best. Like the guys are loving him.
Because looking at the sculpt, I would worry about limited articulation, especially with the legs with that kind of like trench coat thing that's going on.
Yeah,
like that's
he ain't gonna ride in the sun, that's for sure.
Yeah, he ain't riding nothing. He is standing proud and tall in the snow.
I am curious. I sadly had to pass up on this figure. I could only get 2, and the 2 that I got were Pythona and Big Lob. I sort of played
Big Lob. What? You didn't even tell us they made a Big Lob yet.
Yeah, they did. Check. There he's not. Here he is.
Lob.
Big Lob throws the long bomb.
That's crazy.
I am so glad we are getting Big Lob. It makes
we literally talked about them needing to make this figure like a couple episodes ago, and suddenly they made it.
How prescient of us, eh?
Well, I'd like to think Super 7 be listening to us,
Wouldn't
maybe
that be
listen
nice?
A bit harder and make me a freaking scoop figure.
I saw something. I've seen something now in this render. Okay, that freaks me out, but I realize it's not the case on the figure. There's no swivel points here because this is the 3D model. For some reason, they just weren't on here. that gave me a groot skrik now. But anyway, it doesn't. I
Well,
know
it's the same. Like the knee joints are very difficult to see on the Destro.
Yes.
3D render. Like there, I was like, wow, they didn't even bother to put knee joints on this thing. Come on.
So this guy, it's so great to have him. Especially because we were talking about the Swampfire in last episode, and he does
Yes,
come in
he'd be
BO1.
great on the Swampfire.
It's gonna be cool having him on the Swampfire. It's gonna be fun just having this guy
And
as
he
part of your
looks
renegade.
taller too. Like I think they
Yes.
have definitely made him tall.
Yeah, he's stretched. He's
Like
definitely
you can
taller.
feel the lankiness of his kind of his figure.
And can confirm from having seen photos from that Bergforce member of ours. He is definitely taller.
What? Taller than
what-
Destro though?
It seems so, actually.
Ooh.
Yeah. But that also kind of tracks because Destro is big. He's not he's not a basketball player. He's not a basketball player.
Okay, he's not basketball tall, but he is
And-
taller than the rest of the Joes.
And great that like Big Lob's got his bandolier with the grenade and some pouches, and that's a fun accessory for him. And of course, he's packing an XLMR, and that's good times. I can't think of anything else to give Big Lob personally, so I think this is a great bunch of accessories, and that is something I wanted to sort of touch on after we've when we wrap up the figure section of this, and then I'm going to take us back to Snake Eyes.
Whoa. He's got cool shorts on.
Yes. It's Safari Snake Eyes. No. Yeah, it does bug me. I love the idea of having the Snake Eyes, which is literally on screen in that movie for I think 8 seconds of total runtime, excluding the intro. Yeah. So it's cool to have this blink or you miss it version of Snake Eyes, and they really went and put in some meticulous sculpting here. Suppose you could also double him up for. I keep getting it's not Pyramid of Darkness. It's the other GI Joe
Serpent's Return.
whatever. But yeah, I suppose you can at least use him in his Arctic gear to represent other Sunbow appearances. But this situation here with the Parker here.
Yeah,
I think
just give him, make the Parker pants,
Yeah, or just do what they did for Destro on Snake Eyes. I don't know why they why they felt that this was the best way to go.
You're gonna have a Snake Eyes that can't kick if you've got a secondary that creates that skirt.
Yeah,
I think. If you ever looked at Iceberg figure, for instance, you can see that he blouses his tunic, his jacket, like it goes beyond his belt line, but doesn't go beyond his crotch piece.
Yeah.
So it would not be necessarily screen accurate to have it that short, but it would give the suggestion of a longer jacket without doing this, which look. They had to go one way or another. They flipped a coin, and this is the way they went.
Chose poorly.
So from some angles, it looks great. I'm sure from behind, because you can see that it kind of closes up. From behind, it looks like a complete skirt, or it looks fucking weird. I think it looks fucking weird. I've seen the Cobra Commander from behind. But, it's all a learning curve. And, yeah, at some angles, he looks great. Like, in this render, he looks okay. Like it still looks like he's wearing shorts.
Yeah, it really does.
It's literally all I can see when I look at him. Like he decided to put on a little extra pair of shorts, because now he's in the cold. He's like,
and it's Lycra workout gear. Like I was watching
on the outside, like Superman.
I was watching an MC Hammer video with Elliot today because he wanted to do a little dance party. And a lot of the time that those fly girls are wearing like this kind of cycling shorts unitard. And that's what's going on.
Then he's certainly ready for an MC Hammer dance video, I guess. But
he can't touch this.
So, well, with Snake Eyes still on the screen, there are some things that I this is the first time that I've got some real concerns from Super 7 right now.
Ooh.
This for me is the first miss, as far as I'm concerned. Out of everything they've done, this figure is the first real miss for me. Like I go, wow, this does feel like it needed more time in the oven to really figure out its issues. And as Steve said, it is a learning process. I'm kind of happy that they did it to Snake Eyes and not to Quinn, and that is why I'm a little bit scared, because I don't want this happening to Quinn. We know we're going to get Quinn. It's going to happen. I just don't know when that's going to happen, but I know it's going to happen. And it better not do this shit, because it'll drive me crazy.
You're talking about a safari suit, sort of warm weather Quinn, as opposed to his.
Well, there's both. There's the Arctic Quinn and the warm weather Quinn. So if they do Arctic Quinn, I hope that his parka doesn't have this situation.
Oh yeah, this would work for the safari Quinn, 100%. Like easy.
Yeah.
You just color the bottom part, it's flesh colored, and you're done.
And then he's got like really fat calves.
No. They're not going to reuse the parts.
They won't use the parts, but this looks good for a character with shorts. This does not look good to me, the character with a long jacket on, because it doesn't make sense. Because when you reposition the legs, it's literally just things on the top of his legs.
I don't know if I'm ever going to get used to the idea of an O-ring figure in shorts.
It is like, weird.
We had it with, I think it's Spy Troops or Valor vs. Venom Alpine.
Yes.
I've had it most recently with Delta 17's Leonidas. But like, it's a strange look.
It's
always.
It's weird. It's difficult to get it right. I think it's exceptionally difficult. But yeah, I think Pythona win, Big Lob win. Destro looks cool. I already own a Destro, so I don't think I need another one. But yeah,
though Destro in cold weather gear, honestly, like the Scottish Highlands gets plenty cold. This doesn't necessarily have to be his Cobra Law outfit. This could really just be Destro when he's at his his pad.
Well, yeah, it creates more diverse outfits he can wear. For sure.
This looks very respectable next to, like, if they did Iron Grenadiers in O-ring.
Yeah.
With the kind of the classified sensibilities.
Give me some of those.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, I too ordered 2 of these figures.
Whoa!
No points for guessing who they were, but
and Snake Eyes.
Compliment your Pythona and Big Lob. No, I also ordered Big Lob and Pythona.
Wow.
They are on pre-order from BBTS, so clearly that wasn't the early bird location. But you know how I like to do this. Anyone who watched GI Joburg's first Super 7 unboxing video will know that I like to let the game of chance decide
which figure you're gonna own.
Yeah, but you know, in your esteem, Rob, is Pythona on top, or are you more of Big Lob?
Kind of I'm equally interested in both of these. But I feel like overall, so this year we've gotten 2 Pythonas finally after then we never having them. I think
we haven't gotten Jack.
Well, we haven't, but the GI Joe fandom has gotten the GI Joe community has been offered the opportunity to purchase 2 versions of Pythona, and I think definitely yes, even though she is out of scale to what I would normally collect, I think the classified Pythona is way more what I would want from a Pythona O-ring figure. Like, it's way sexier. She comes with an absolute ton of incredible accessories that feel useful to her and would get cool play from what she comes with. This one just comes with a diamond and like a very thin cape. But I think she's still very, very good.
Sounds like somebody's getting Big Lob, huh, Steve?
I don't know. Can't tell where this is going.
No, but I'm just saying I like both versions. But if they could have shrunk down the classified version into O-ring scale, I think that'd be great. But I'm just saying, I think of the 2, I'm just saying right now, of the 2 Pythonas, I really love the classified version, and I like this one a lot. I just love that we're getting Pythona figures. Of the 2, I would probably lean more towards Big Lob, but I would still be very happy to block you from owning Python.
You're such a dick. Okay, well, maybe we'll get Game of Chance, or maybe you'll get your wish. I don't know.
Let's see what happens.
Maybe we'll play with each person's toy, and then like be like, you know what? Actually, let's swap.
Yeah, I want.
Yeah, you happy with that? I'm happy with that. Yeah. Make it like a like we used to do it on the playground.
Yeah.
Now, we have to address it because the sword of Damocles has finally fallen with this line. they have increased their price from $20 to $25. That's quite a jump.
That's correct.
That is significant.
That's a 25% increase in price.
Tariffs. And that's the last thing I'm saying about it.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I mean, to get 2 carded figures for $50, that's 1,000 rand. That feels like not an insignificant amount of money.
That hurts,
yeah. Guys.
And that's before shipping.
Yeah, and before somebody in the comments turns around and like goes on about how this and that is not really that expensive. 1,000 rand for us, that's about a week and a half. That's a grocery run, and it's about a week and a half's worth of groceries for us.
Wow.
Yeah.
Week and a half. Jeez. What kind of food are you eating?
Dude, we are so freaking frugal here with that kind of thing. We make sure we buy stuff that lasts. So, but yes, that's just to emphasize the point. We, that's how much it costs. So
yeah, for sure.
This is feeding our toy souls.
Yeah, these 2 carded figures are like a sixth of the rent that I get on my apartment.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steven's losing out on rent.
Crazy. That's pretty crazy, man.
Guys.
Yeah.
But still, very exciting. I'm looking forward to unboxing these and seeing which one I get, which one Steven gets. Either way, I'm going to be happy.
Yay. And as we end off our discussion on Reaction Plus, I do want to mention I have some concerns about this line, this wave in particular. It's actually, maybe it's just, it's my fault because I think a part of me was hoping for a little bit more. I'm very disappointed with Pythona's literal one single accessory, which is that freaking gem, which is awesome for a set piece of handing it over to Zartan, a figure that hasn't been released in his regular look yet. It's cool to have that in that respect. I just feel like I would have loved to have seen some of the other accessories that she could have possibly come with, very much like what they did for Classified. I think that is a huge loss for us as toy buyers, especially now that we have to pay $25 for these things. So that does bug me, and I also feel that a gem of this size could also have been found at literally any nail art shop or like Temu or something. Paul, yeah,
you have access to a garden, but you have the wilds of Africa to troll for creepy crawlies and bugs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, yeah, no, that's what I want to go and do. I want to go and kill an insect to be an accessory for my figure.
Yeah.
I don't like killing bugs.
You don't have to kill nothing.
Find a dead one.
Oh yeah, because they because insects are like children and animals on film sets. They're great to work with.
The shit that I find in my garden, I mean, that's Australia for you. Like the hard bug carapaces that the bug is obviously kind of crawled out of and left its skin behind. And I'm like, jeepers, that thing is huge mongers. That is a face hugger.
That's what it used to look like. But I think Reaction Plus, their thing isn't accessories. That's never been their focus.
And their philosophy is fucked when it comes to accessories as well. May I just say, I am so pissed off.
Thank you, Steve.
That this Jinx comes with this one scene only, improvised weapon, which has absolutely no function in any other scene, in any other capacity than that scene. Unless you are perennially just playing out that confrontation with Beachhead from the movie.
Burning time.
Without her blindfold, I might add.
Thank you. I was going to say. Yeah.
So, I mean, this is a pathetic fanboy rant, but I would have literally taken anything, a generic sword, an XMLR, any weapon that can allow her to function as a soldier in the field or ninja in the field, other than this stupid thing. And the same goes for Pythona's jewel. She's going to use that as a bargaining chip approximately one time, whereas any of her various tools or creatures of destruction, she can get multiple uses out of. She can have multiple posing options with. The jewel.
It's like they're taking the philosophy of the Ultimates line, which came with very specific scene-specific accessories, and trying to translate that into the O-Ring line.
Yeah,
but like
then
it
still
doesn't work
diluting it.
because you dilate you because you have to, because these things, they can only afford to include so many accessories.
Or at least that's the belief. Yeah.
That is
I have
the
a
belief.
theory then. I have a theory, particularly with a gem of that size. Now, we all know our good buddy Chris McLeod from Full Force loves to quote that line. Like, I mean, almost any time Pythona comes up, Chris is going to say, the line. Just like anytime Zorana comes up, he gives us the Thrasher line.
Mm.
You know the one.
Yeah, I know it.
Zorana! I didn't know it was you. That one. Anyway, so, and in fact, I have a T-shirt that Chris designed with Zartan on it that says a gem of that size.
Nice.
Like
Yeah.
a little scroll beneath the character portrait. So it's synonymous with Pythona.
Yeah.
And I think that perhaps set up a bit of an earworm in Brian Flynn. And he maybe was insistent that if she can only come with one piece of additional plastic in that card, that it be the gem.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a chain of causation there.
I agree with you. And that's kind of what I wanted to get at is like the only thing I can think of is that we're going to get some kind of accessory pack from Super 7. It is not unprecedented. It is the kind of thing they do. They've done it for Ultimates line. They've done it for other GI Joe. Other GI Joe. They've done it for other toy lines in their.
But those are all reuse parts, Paul.
Yeah.
That's a way of repackaging all the accessories that have already been.
Yeah, I believe with the Ultimates line, if you get all 4 figures or whatever from that line, then you as an extra you get the accessories pack. If I remember correctly, you can't. I don't know if you can buy them separately.
If
so
you
we've
buy
gone
directly from
3. Yeah, but we've gone like 3 lines now, haven't we? Is this the 3rd Reaction Plus GI Joe line? No accessories.
4th. It's the 4th wave.
Even.
I don't think unpainted, or generally unpainted Super 7 Reaction Plus, minor accessories will make it. Not they won't make enough of a value. To put together into one card. As this isn't the heyday of the 80s where like they would do that in multicolors with the accessory packs, which I believe were peg warmers anyway.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Which
it's not going to be.
Yeah, because the accessories were generally so good that your figure came with. Like, why would you need extra?
Which to me,
stuff got lost.
That's possible, but it also feels like if I try to put myself in the shoes of Super 7 and like this is my perspective, but seeing it through their perspective, it's let's release these figures like Pythona, Destro et al. Let's see what kind of feedback you get from the community, from the YouTube videos, from the reviewers, all that kind of stuff in the community, and then. Well, we've made them limited release, so we can re-release this figure again, but maybe in like a 2-pack, so we can have Pythona and Zartan in a 2-pack, or Pythona and Nemesis Enforcer or something in a 2-pack, and then we include extra accessories, so we can get our customers to double dip on buying a Pythona. So, I mean, that's kind of toy logic. I mean, we've seen Mattel do it, we've seen Hasbro do it, kind of in some respects. So I kind of see Super 7 doing it with that approach if they don't go with the straight up accessory pack. That said, I think I'm also just being hopeful here in that we get an accessory pack because there's a lot of holes.
You're such a hopeful person overall. I think you're just filled with positivity.
You're
try. Not as negative as me and Steven,
I try, but I got to say, coming back to the Snake Eyes, if there's a reason to buy the Snake Eyes, it's probably for this cool handgun.
Yes. Or you can get it with Destro.
Yeah, no, Destro's one's different.
Oh yeah, it's at a 90-degree angle on the.
No, Destro's one looks more like a Mauser. It looks similar to his vintage release handgun too.
I would say it looks more like a Luger, but yeah, it's.
Sorry, I said Mauser. I meant Luger. That's the word.
Classic Cobra ray gun style ray gun, and Snake Eyes is accurate to the few shots that he fires off from a handgun.
And it's
in the intro sequence, I think. He fires off into the camera almost.
Anyway, that's a cool one. I dig that. So yeah, Super 7 not really rocking it with the accessories, but the toy releases are great. Snake Eyes is their first failure.
Like, yeah, I think if they just keep releasing cool characters, like it almost doesn't even matter what the accessories are. And I feel they feel the same way too. It's like they're just putting it in there to just have something in the packaging, essentially.
And I'm
That's
sure
why
that
half the figures just come with laser guns. You know, it's just to have something in there. Like, so it's not just like a figure on its own. So as long as they keep releasing new characters, I think the overall the line is still interesting and still, you know, grabbing my attention, still making me look at it and be like, whoa.
The
What's
thing is,
coming next, guys?
I do feel like they still, I do at least feel that there is a sense of them trying to get it right and them trying to do their best. And, you know, and Steve said like he feels like what he was saying earlier was maybe a stupid fan complaint, but I don't think it's stupid at all. This whole line, this whole business is based on stupid fan requests. That's what makes this shit cool. And at the end of the day, taking care of little things like that makes a difference. And I think that I actually feel it makes all the difference in the world when you do those little nods, especially to a fan base that is as established as ours is as old and mature as we are. Mature, maybe old, definitely. But there's just a lot of stuff that we've had on our wish list for a long time, and so it does matter to us, and so it should matter to the people supplying them, definitely. That said,
I put a pin in this for later that I wanted to circle back to, but with regards to Operation Recall, so the second year's worth of figures that goes beyond the sort of the 20, was it 19? The 19 that they've got kind of in the pipeline at various stages have been announced. Now, in that year 2, they are, I suppose, rejigging some things, doing some redecos, doing some characters that have drifted so far from their original topic that they're circling back and doing the original source material. Case in point, the one Operation Recall figure that I wanted to own more than anything else was the Great Whites.
Yes.
The sort of a deep sea diver,
so
kind
cool.
of in a sort of shark suit, basically. That concept has gone so far in its development that it is unrecognizable. They're called snake heads now. And they look like basically free divers with very long fins. I think they're glow-in-the-dark elements. I could be mistaken. Either way, it's still a very desirable figure. But what is curious to me is, if that's the only one that I ordered, does my order, is it valid for that and that only? Or is it now transferable to what is actually going to be the Great Whites in this year 2 assortment? It's a very strange situation that I specifically find myself in, that the one that I actually ordered at time of, you know, placing my order and paying for is now no longer in existence in that wave and has been moved on to year 2. Like, I don't know. I should ask Carson about that. I mean, I'm sure I'm the only person in the world in that situation where I'm like, hang on, the one that I paid for is no longer the one that's being made and being shipped to me. That's coming later.
What do I do now, guys? Just keep waiting?
Yeah. What did they say? Kickstarter, it's not a pre-order, right? I mean, to quote Dan Larson. For me, my favorite reaction, like, well, my favorite out of those has still been, I said reaction, but it's actually meant to be Operation Recall. It's still I still like the most, because has at least stayed true to its original content. Hush is great. I think that is such a cool toy design, and I love that they kept it, and I love that they haven't really messed with it, and they've maintained its sort of innocence. And I stand by. I think the figures, the designs and that do the best are the ones that are goofy, not stupid goofy, just the right balance of goofy. As soon as you start to get too cool, too real world, too something, you lose essence. And I'll die on that hill. I know this because that's the mistake I made with designing stuff for that.
Yeah,
that
man,
said,
you should have had a turtle.
I should have gone goofier. I shouldn't have like, I played it like hard, bro. Like, I'm still very proud of the designs that I did, but I just like looking back, I'm just like, I know why they didn't work for this. And that was my bad. That was just me being like excited and trying to shoehorn something in there instead of like going with the brief, which should be a lesson to all of us when we get into competitions like this. Remember, like, if you're doing a My Little Pony, make sure you're making a My Little Pony.
Read the briefs, guys.
Yeah. So now that we totally talked out, I kind of just want to quickly briefly mention, and I'm not going to show pictures, but a bit disappointed with the classified lifeline. But that is not because there's anything wrong with the quality of the figure. Maybe it's just because 50th anniversary GI Joe, or should I say the retaliation line, gave us such a beautiful lifeline in 1:18 scale that I cannot understand why they wouldn't just make that a bigger toy and sell that as a classified. I do feel like the classified version that's out there now doesn't quite hit the highs that original figure did. But to people who don't know that toy exists, I think it will do quite well. The accessories are there, just also not as interesting as the ones that came with the 50th or with the retaliation release. So I just wanted to throw that out. And Hit and Run.
It would be the Renegades release, my friend.
Thank you, Renegades. I meant to say Renegades. I keep saying retaliation.
No,
Yeah.
sorry.
It's similar.
Cobra.
Oh, it's Pock.
Well,
I'm looking at the card, and it does look like the Pock.
It is Pock, but technically they kind of released it as like as a Renegades thing. It was so freaking convoluted.
30th anniversary Renegades. I mean, it's all over the show.
They don't know what they were doing back then.
Yeah. Anyway, beautiful figure.
It may be boring, the lifeline, but they are definitely. It's very reminiscent of the classic version. So I feel like they're not taking risks with him. They're essentially like, here's a dude in a red jumpsuit. He's lifeline. Let's get him out of the way. It's the same with the Hit and Run. Hit and Run is very much the original Hit and Run. It's just just get. We need another figure to add to the lineup. Let's get these two guys out there. Don't spend too much time redesigning it. Just upscale the original figures, and don't do much with them. Which makes me think that they're going to probably add. They're probably spending that time designing something else that's upcoming. They're just like, we need more figures for the line. Get these guys into the line now. We'll please more people by just making them look like the raw figures than trying to like over design them.
A win for having the classic GI Joe medic sort of badge, circle with the lines.
So good.
But the font for the rescue down the leg is what strikes me as odd. That's a strange, like, I suppose it's a sizing thing because of the additional articulation points that it has to avoid. Yeah. But it's very narrow. It's very much, it's kind of dated automatically by being that very now kind of font. Whereas the previous one was that, was a stencil, essentially.
Yeah.
This guy's been stenciling his pants. But it had the sort of the little breaks where the stencil would, have those connectors. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
Yeah, no, I get it.
You're gonna go retro all the way.
Come on.
Yeah, like,
come on.
Dear listeners and viewers, please no. I don't think that it's a bad figure. I think that it's an outstanding figure. As far as what it is, I think it's great. It's just, for me, I just feel like it's definitely the diet version of Lifeline. And guys, Hit and Run, for all of the Hit and Run diehard fans out there. Look, guys, at least they didn't do a shit job, but I also don't feel it's the best job that they could have done.
It's so nice.
Wow.
Steven
is showing off the original stencil work on his original
Lifeline.
And I gotta say,
it's got those triangles. Like, it's triangular. The C and the E ends in those triangles.
It's like he stenciled it on himself, just quickly. Like,
but it's not the classic military like stenciling. It's a lot blockier.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The future of the 80s.
The future of the 80s. The 80s future.
Rescue.
And then coming back to Hit and Run, I do feel this. I do feel that the way they've done hit and run here is arguably better than the 25th anniversary Attack on Cobra Island version that we got.
Ooh.
But I don't
Low
think
fruit.
it's that much better. If you within the context of it being a classified release, there's something missing. There's something missing on the 25th anniversary and the classified that the vintage has, and I can't quite put my finger on it, but it's just
Rope.
Well, rope is one thing, but at least they've got a really cool carabiner here for that.
But yeah,
Look,
that's why I
I'm
said.
curious to see how much rope the classified version will come with.
Mm-hmm.
I believe there is some safety regulation about including string with toys these days. Like they can't give you like 3 feet.
Like too much.
Yeah. Anyway, otherwise kids shit the rope. Anyway, that is our figure coverage. Are we going into
new figures, guys?
Like, let's get into the thing that we do when we grab our toys, guys? And we're like, what are we gonna do with our toys? We switch on our cartoon and then we play with our toys.
We play
what cartoon are we watching? What I think you said Cobra
Soundwave.
Cobra Soundwaves. Rob, I feel like you are dying to give us the plot rundown, the synopsis on this one.
The plot synopsis on this one. Well, I'll tell you guys, it's not about Transformers. That was a huge disappointment when I turned this thing on. I was like, I'm gonna get Transformers. Like it opens with this great, like we get to see the Sky Strikers kind of flying through the air, and you're like, okay, cool. We've got vehicles. They've got Ace up there, which I think it's fantastic to see Ace in a cartoon episode. He's not in enough episodes.
I agree.
So we see them, and they're kind of going up against. They're going across the desert. They get shot down by the eponymous Soundwaves of the episode, which is a new sonic weapon designed by Destro. They get captured. I'm just writing it down real quick. They get captured. They have to fight in an arena. While at the same time, Cobra is trying to destroy the oil fields of this country to destabilize the oil supply across the world. That's his current plan for this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Flint ends up having to fight these guys. He's at a disadvantage because his guys aren't there to help him out. But finally, they come back thanks to Scarlet, who disobeys commands. Who's told, "Don't go do your own thing, Scarlet. I know what a hothead you are. Yeah, I know you're going to go do something. Don't do it." She helps out anyway. They get back. They take out Cobra. Somehow, Cobra Commander defeats his Soundwave machine himself by overexerting how far forward he's pushing it out of the mouth of the Cobra mouth. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. It's designed in such a way that he can actually do that. And yeah, by the end of the episode, GI Joe wins, as they always do. I mean, I'm really oversimplifying because I think if you haven't seen it yet, you should definitely watch it. But
I also feel sorry, Rob, that for our dear listeners and viewers,
dear listeners,
this is the moment where you have to stop the video to go and watch the animated series and read the comic book for the episode.
If it all right, I said I would help. Yes, it's good. Cobra Soundwaves for the comic. Cobra Soundwaves for the comic book. Cobra Soundwaves for the cartoon series, and issue 12. 3 strikes for Snake Eyes.
It's actually my bad because I just motor mouthed it through. I didn't give Steve a gap.
No chance,
guys. In Cobra Soundwaves, okay, aside from it being possibly one of the best things to ever be put onto TV,
absolute cinema.
I'm so glad I'm a human being that gets to live in an era that actually gets to witness this within 50 years of its original airing. So that is a privilege in and of itself, because so much happens in this cartoon.
Yeah, a lot happens.
There is that opening scene. So you got like all the camels and whatever's, and then you like got Major Blood, and it's Major Blood because he's got an eye patch there, and you're seeing it through the through his hood. I can't think of the name right now, and like he looks up and he sees these Sky Strikers screaming past, and then he calls Cobra Commander. Now, I just feel like that's a miscasting because we could have just had Xandar, because at least Xandar's name is closer to the word radar, which apparently is something Cobra don't have. I mean, You would see those birds coming a mile away if you had radar system. But no. All of your money has gone to your Soundwave machine.
Well,
now we
they,
have to
they were
have a
drawing them
radar.
in.
Yeah.
They were drawing them in by offering up those rattlers to set the trap. They wanted the Joes to chase off those rattlers and go straight for the Cobra Desert base. Now, can we have a little sidebar on this massive mountain, which is curiously shaped like the head of a cobra, complete with an open door and fangs? Did they stumble upon some amazing like eighth wonder of the world that this mountain looks like a cobra, or did they excavate that, tunnel it? I mean, like, this is Cobra's philosophy, man. We're gonna make everything look cool as shit. It's gotta be snake motif.
Gucci.
So we will blast that mountainside until we've carved out
until it looks like a snake.
Visage.
100%. That's what they did on purpose. I mean, like he carries it through the whole episode. There's a scene where Cobra Commander is talking on a snake phone. Like he 100% made sure that mountain looked like a snake.
Dude, he barely even talks on it. He like literally, I swear the whole sequence there was, he told somebody to call him in like 10 minutes time so that he could show off how cool the Cobra phone is. So literally he goes there. He's like, yeah, I'm Cobra Commander. Oh, I've got a phone call. Oh, yes, do the thing. And then he puts, it's like just to show off, like, look at my cool Cobra phone.
Look how cool.
I'd say it goes deeper than that. He was being roasted mercilessly by 3 Joes that he essentially had in his power. Like, what, Cobra Commander has a brain? Like, they are taking him to the cleaners. Like, I'm sure he was like, oh, my phone is ringing.
My phone's ringing.
Yeah, there's something I need to take care of.
I can't stay to watch.
Happily. Yeah, it's the classic supervillain, like, I'm gonna lock you in this death trap and walk away. You know, the death trap being a gigantic robot crab.
Yes,
which rises up out of the arena.
I love the design. I mean, it's just a robot crab, but it's so cool.
I think it was meant to be like a robot scarab, but I'll take because it's crab-like, obviously. Anyway, carry on, Steve. I'm not saying that to second guess you.
Don't have like claws, though, do they?
Dude, you know, it's scorpion-ish, it's crab-ish, it's a Rorschach, is what it is.
Okay, it could be whatever you want it to be.
It's whatever you're seeing.
A giant robot and it's trying to kill them.
Yeah.
But speaking of killing, at the start, Ace is like, he's like, oh, they're trying to shoot at me. You're not going to hit me unless you can shoot straight. And then the next shot is him shooting and missing the rattler that he's trying to kill.
Yeah.
Look, whoever was on lasers in this episode, and that is whoever was animating that effect, like, it's like they are shotguns, man. They're like, like you see a lot of shots of Sky Strikers and Rattlers, like down the barrel, basically. Like the camera, like the plane is flying at the camera, and display of lasers just emanating from everywhere. The starburst. It is.
Yeah, that's like more interesting, more exciting.
Yeah. Sure. There would be nothing cool about like seeing like basically just a ray coming from the nose towards you.
But just choose a different camera angle then. Like,
but no, it's cool. I cannot begrudge that. It just struck me as like that's just rad. It's totally not how this would look in the real, but hey, man.
So they come up against, they've been knocked out of the sky with the sound waves, and they come up against Cobra gliders. Some of the worst pilots gliders I've ever seen. The first guy literally takes himself out. He's chasing Gung Ho, isn't he?
I can't hold it.
Goes around a corner, and the guy just flies into the sand dune. Like, he's not even trying.
That was hilarious for me because I was like, yeah, Cobra claws, these are amazing. Why are you flying so close to the
So they can't fly.
And then Ace even managed to like leap over one.
Yes.
Grab the dude's ankles, pull him out of it. Like, what?
It's insane.
I love it. It's insane. I love the maneuver. But it also makes me think like, Cobra, you could have just kept your altitude, man. Like, you understand the idea of getting air superiority is so that you have superiority, right? Like, you get that, right? Like,
But it seems like
That's
everyone
because
is blind in the sequence. Like those guys are crashing into sand dunes, but then the Joes literally walk underneath a helicopter that has a net hanging down.
Like, oh, what's happening to us?
Oh
this
no,
is,
we
this is
walked right into this trap. But the helicopter was obviously there the whole time. Like,
Yes.
it was literally floating, and you were like running towards it. You know,
not
like,
kicking up dust or nothing.
oh, it got
know,
us. What is
not for
going
nothing,
on?
but-
How did this happen?
It's just so Roadblock could have a
Who could
cool
have seen
line.
this?
Now I know what tuna feels like. Mhm.
And then they get like carted off, and then it does. It's like, you know, if this episode was literally just Cobra does this thing, and then it does this to the GI Joe vehicles, and then GI Joe has to find a way to stop it, and before Cobra takes over the world, they could have done that, right? But they decided to put a whole mini series in here. So you've got Cobra develops this killer weapon. Then you find out, no, actually, GI Joe set up a tactical outpost in the like Emirates of Benzine. Let's just call it that, because
they're defending the oil fields. So Fleet's
Yeah.
got, I want artillery here, Sky Strikers here, blah blah blah. Like, okay,
like you
plan.
want to land
That was
your
exciting.
planes in between like a refinery. You're a great tactician. Stop drinking.
Dude, they're
Flynn.
Sky Strikers. They can take off and land anywhere. The desert floor in between buildings, no problem.
Middle of a refinery with silos, cool. Then so you got that moment. Then you've got the whole rebellion of Scarlet. You know, she's playing.
Yeah,
Goose
that's
this
another
time.
subplot going on there.
Yeah. And then on top of that, you've got, wait for it, airborne psychic powers, which plays me every time. I'm getting
nothing.
a signal. Oh, like I love the way they do his psychic powers. It is so like Friday afternoon TV special. This today on Sightings, psychic pets.
And just to kind of try and massage it so that it isn't completely out of left field, like Flint almost turns to the camera and says, "Yes, he has psychic powers. I read it in his file somewhere." Like, whoa, okay.
Well, okay
There's
then.
some pretty on the nose show don't tell, tell don't show. Look, this episode and everything that's stuffed into it, when you watch it in the sequence that we now have, you see the breadcrumbs. It feels like the writer took cognizance of that episode. Was it Mind Menace?
Yes.
With Airborne's brother being the telekinetic or whatever it is.
Yeah, so it's not coming out of left field. It's established that he is psychic.
And it goes even further because this is a struggle to secure the last third of, or Cobra could destroy a third of the world's oil supply. Is a deep callback to a very early episode, Cobra Stops the World, where they make the tankers disappear. Like that feels like this all occupies the same narrative. Like we treat GI Joe as not having a any kind of linear story. Like each episode, it's serialized. It's return to status quo. But like if you extrapolate, like if you play this game, you can think like this is a more realized world. These episodes do have consequence.
Yeah.
Like one of the consequences being like Duke when Scarlet gets home, he's gonna be like, "You've been schmoozing that oil chic again," like because she's putting down some vibes.
Yeah.
Okay? Was that the only one who kind of?
No,
I think so.
Very. Obviously, GI Joe have an interest in keeping this oil chic alive. She kind of made it a very personal thing.
Yeah, they do seem very personable because she's like, "Scarlet, what's going on with you? Are you all right? Oh, I want to help my friends." It's like she's having this conversation with him instead of like a fellow GI Joe. So it does feel like there's an established relationship or something there.
Well, I'd like to think there's a little frisson, a little backstory there that you could extrapolate.
Thank you, Sheik, for all this wonderful food you made for us. I love eating food with you when you feed it to me. I didn't make it. He did. Oh, everyone eat up. I make the best food you'll ever.
Yeah, I mean, what? Yeah, and in the back of her mind, she's just like, as soon as the Sheik and I get together, these palm frond bitches they're getting fired.
They're getting out.
Like,
They're getting out.
like,
Yeah. I'm number one in his life.
yeah.
100%.
I don't know if this is typical of all Saudi households. Maybe it was a special occasion, but like typically, like at a banquet, the men are in one chamber and the women are in a different chamber. Yeah.
As far as I understand it, that's how it is as well. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Well,
Yeah.
it was the 80s. They probably didn't understand the culture of
It was a
the
very
Middle East as well as we do these days, I guess.
that, and like I do want to just put and I think we might get into a bit of trouble, but just bear with me, guys.
Oh no!
Don't worry.
Oh.
It does, like the way that they're portraying how the sheiks live in that situation. It's a very primitive point of view on how the sheiks live. Like, I mean, these are not poor people. These are some of the wealthiest, if not the wealthiest people in the world.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
they do not have
money.
ladies with palm fronds like fanning you down for air conditioning. No, my dude. No, I've never been to Dubai.
Hey, it looks cool. Once again, it's
It
just like the
looks
Sky Striker
interesting.
lasers.
Yeah, that's
No,
why
it
that's what I'm saying.
tells
It's
the
the
story.
80s. Their understanding isn't as maybe as what is as we know it these days. It's just this is the setting. What do they have? They have a palace. There's a dude in charge of the palace. Let's go with that. Like,
Yeah,
that isn't the main
no,
focus.
I get
They
it.
understand that oil comes from there. I mean, it's a cool thing that they're fighting over, kind of like a real world thing that people would worry about. It's oil.
No, I totally get that. I just think for like if I have to like go back in time as a kid watching this cartoon, having never seen anything about Saudi Arabia, Dubai, which wasn't really fully established in that time. Like if I had seen any of that stuff as a child, my worldview on what that country looks like would be shaped by those kind of images. Not because like I'm not, okay, mind you, a lot of kids aren't really sort of, what should I say, equipped with critical thinking or with critical thinking on that level. But also because when you're young, you're receptive. So you're getting a lot of information and you haven't got information to counter that. We also don't have the internet. We don't, kids aren't necessarily watching documentaries on the world. So those kind of things do create like a skewed perception. And I would say the same thing with Japan. They've done the same thing with Japan in the GI Joe series as well. But they make it seem like Japan is a few rice boats, like, meanwhile, at the time, it was a pretty advanced city. So anyway, it's just something to be said for
It's
that.
a cartoon. It's a simplified worldview. It's
Of
not meant to be accurate to what the real world is.
No,
'Cause, I mean, I
true.
think we've often said, especially in the cartoons, like the placement of things is very nebulous. They're going around to places all over the place. That the cartoon's focus isn't trying to be accurate to what the real world is. It's just to have it's almost like a
It's a
fantasy
bit of a flavor.
interpretation. It's just a flavoring. Like, here we're going to the Middle East, here we're going to Japan, here we're going to this Asia or wherever. It's not meant to be one for one for what the real world is. It's just trying to tell fun stories and sell toys. So I think we can kind of look past the stereotypes that they've kind of established.
Well, we should look
Especially
past
it was
the
the 80s
stereotypes
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we should.
Just watch it and enjoy it. Let's have a great time, guys. Don't overthink it.
Yeah. I suppose that's also kind of what I'm trying to get at as well. It's just like, also just taking some responsibility here as a viewer and just saying, like, the world is not like that. We appreciate this kind of skewed worldview on it, and that is what it is.
Yeah.
And thankfully, we've learned a lot of lessons. And
don't worry, Paul. I don't think anyone's going to cancel you for watching a cartoon from the 80s.
I don't
you
think
really
anybody
don't have
will
to
either.
defend yourself.
No. I don't think anybody will either. It's just
coming for you.
Oh, please don't misunderstand me. This is not a case of me defending myself. This is just a case of like, we just have to be careful.
It was a different time.
Yeah, we just have to be careful as well. If we
have
are
your fun,
in
but don't
production.
forget that it's the way they're representing these people is completely wrong. Like we have to bring it up because I know a lot of you listening are thinking about it right now. That whoa.
So also, like, I know I'm going to overthink this now as well. So that Soundwave generator, what we're led to believe is that it generates sound waves, and that rattles. It sort of it rattles the Sky Strikers to pieces. It basically rattles anything mechanical to bits, right? And if you fly at it with a glider, that if the sound wave is pointed at you, somehow it's not going to affect you.
That glider is made of sterner stuff than a sophisticated F-14 experimental.
Yeah, but then by the same logic, if you're using sound waves to vibrate particles at the level that you're doing, then a human being's blood should boil and they should explode if sound wave is pointed at them. So
I mean, I think the writing was thinking more of like a ESP, not ESP, electromagnetic pulse.
Of course,
weapon at that point, and not sound waves.
Yeah,
but
I mean, I give
let's
it that.
Also examine that when they do launch this retaliation, so they've had the experience of losing 3 Sky Strikers to this device. Ace jumps into a Sky Striker and flies straight back in for another go, and like somehow is able to pull up in time after just incurring just enough damage to bait the trap, to get Cobra Commander to roll this thing out a little bit further on its track to make it precariously close to the edge. So it just is astounding to me that you can like damage a Sky Striker just a little bit and it's still able to like fly away. These are, sensitive aircraft. It doesn't need all those rivets. That wing can be ever so slightly cracked and it'll still fly home okay.
Yeah, I mean, redundancies, right? There's a great moment at the end of this episode, and I if there's anything you guys want to say before this, I do want to comment on something at the end. Just thought it was quite funny. So the Sheik is now being kidnapped, or is being used as a hostage by Destro as Destro and Cobra Commander are making their escape, and Gung Ho is about to just wants to shoot Cobra Commander or Destro just to for them to let go of the Sheik and whatever.
Please.
And
for
she's
the
like,
love of everything.
No, don't. So he's like, okay, fine. But he is like a highly qualified like marksman. I mean, I want to say he's like a sniper, but I mean,
he's a combat marine.
He's a combat marine.
A laser gun. He could probably make that shot with one eye blindfolded.
Pretty much, right? He's a professional. Yeah. So I'm just like, Scarlet really doesn't want her meal ticket being taken out.
Scarlet wants to take the glory. She wants to do the last minute save.
Oh,
with
that's
her
a different way
crazy
of looking at
boomerang. She wants to get in the good graces of the oil sheik. She's like, I've had it with this unit. I want to get in with the money. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I see the subtext of Cobra Soundwaves.
All the money is in the private sector, dude. Yeah, but yes, she makes the most impossible shot. And then, of course, Wild Bull and, Gung Ho just have to, kind of acquiesce. They're like, okay, fine, we'll catch the rope of your magically physics. I mean, why aren't you selling that technology to Cobra Commander? Because that will, take over the world. And she's like, come on, girl. Just make the best shot you've ever made. Why didn't you just take your best shot earlier when it would have been far easier to eliminate the issue? Cartoon logic.
Can we have a moment for Sheik Ali and just say, he's not just a silver spoon.
No, he's badass.
When he's being used as a hostage, Destro pushes him and says, we don't need you anymore. And the helicopter starts to take off. He's like, come back, you! Come back for ruining my country! He's after them. He grabs hold of the
helicopter. He goes Tom Cruise on them, bro.
What is his plan? He's going to pull himself into this helicopter with these terrorists and slug it out? The dude, he's not, as I say, he's not just a billionaire. He's got some big cojones, man.
So guys,
it is all about that.
So if you're looking for an animated series on the episode of the GI Joe animated series that has an awesome collection of dogfights and aerial battles, features the Claw, the Sky Striker, Wolverines, Rattlers, another
armadillos as well.
There was an armadillo, yes.
Fantastic
an
episode.
Unmanned flak. There was a flak that blew up. There was no one sitting in it. Flint keeps saying, "Where are my guys? Where are my guys?" Well, clearly he's got nobody else because
But he had. I mean, some of those electronically, the remote controlled vehicles were also there. The little missile things. Yeah, You could see them on screen at one point. They came across with several armadillos. But yeah,
Very
if you want lots of
strange-looking
cool
armadillos.
action and you don't mind the primitive representation of Saudi Arabians, if you can look past that, it's a fantastic episode.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. That's what this episode has got
so
going
if you look
for
past that, you're gonna have a really great time. You're gonna have a great
Yeah.
time if you can just turn your brain off and not think about that. You're gonna
Someone
really
who
enjoy
I presume is having a really great time with this episode is friend of the channel Mark van Leeuwen, who serendipitously has been working on a Dio story that will be a retelling of Cobra Soundwaves.
Yeah.
We are being treated on his YouTube channel to some behind the scenes. He's working on his set, like the Cobra Desert Temple base, whatever it is.
It
that
looks
giant
so
snake
accurate to the episode, like from what he's
sculpted
shown.
it. Sort of a cardboard base that I guess he's added, I don't know, some kind of sculpting material on top of. Incredible stuff.
I love
but
that,
it is a great setting for that. I didn't get to mention it up top, but like I love a desert setting. Seeing GI Joe vehicles and equipment and Cobra like doing battle over like dune sea with
great.
some sparse buildings like a refinery here and a Cobra castle there. It's such a great setting. Really, really cool.
And again, just hats off to Mark for just having a will-do attitude. Like Mark doesn't like sit and wait for like anything. He just goes for it. He just goes. And
seems like he's always busy with something.
It's great to see.
Very
like, and I love it. I mean, like I can tell you now, like not everything that he's done there came out looking that cool the first time around. Sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. You know, but you're definitely seeing the version of whatever he's made that he's satisfied with at that point. And the quality of that has just gotten better and better and better with his ability to create the stuff. And I just hope that that's an inspiration to other listeners and viewers of the channel to just go and check out Mark's stuff. And if you've ever been like, you know, keen to do a diorama, but you think, oh, it's going to look bad or something, who cares, man? Make the thing, make it the best you can. Maybe it's not the best looking thing in the world, but you've made it and you've already taken a step to making an even cooler one. Or, you know, your next project will be amazing. And yeah, and if you need some tips, ask Mark. I'm sure he'll share some war stories with you, you know, with how he created some things. In fact, I feel like we need to get Mark on again, hopefully after he's finished that, and we can ask him how he made some of those props. I'm very keen. Throwing that out there. Cool, guys. So for our listeners, you have hit the 1 hour and 15-minute mark. Well, actually, it's a little bit past it. It's 2 minutes past that. 17 minutes over an hour. Yes. Can you believe it? We've been having so much fun talking rubbish about GI Joes. That's how quickly it's gone.
Goes so quick.
Are we going to go 3 strikes for Snake Eyes?
In as much as it gives me opportunity to talk about this lovely little anecdote that I've always wanted to pull out in connection with 3 strikes for Snake Eyes. This issue was one I had as a child, one that I read many, 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 many times because it gave me a glimpse at the OG 13 plus Gung Ho and just the way that team operated back then, the characters that dominated and their interactions, and it's a lovely little snapshot. Of course, it dangles some carrots that we never got, which were Dr. Venom, Quinn, and that, like, combined with Snake Eyes, made such a lovely trio of unlikely allies / enemies that work together and sort of stab each other in the back, shifting allegiances and that sort of thing. And we see it start in issue 12. I think issue 12 was such a great jumping off point, and I'm once again grateful that I had it as a child. Now, it all plays out in Sierra Gordo, and the action set piece that ends the issue is on this Cobra bunker in the middle of a river, surrounded by triple canopy jungle on either side. It's amazing and a wonderful setting for action, for intrigue, for what happens in this issue and a subsequent issue. Like, I think, issue 13 picks up where this one leaves off, and there are bits and pieces in 14 and 15. In fact, 15 Hurley balls. Like, that is where things hit fever pitch for me. That is an all-time favorite issue of the comic book, and I can't wait to talk about that one. But the intrigue to issue 12 really comes in the fact that this inspired myself and whoever was unwittingly dragged along with me to excavate part of my parents' garden. We got in there with tools, man. I remember buying a pickaxe so we could start chipping into this hard soil. This,
yeah, we made a big difference on that backyard.
Wow.
Huge difference.
We got in there. We had to maneuver past a very, very overgrown cactus plant to like take the soil from this excavation past the cactus through a shed and then dump it at the foot of a lemon tree. So that's like cactus spikes on the one hand, lemon tree spikes on the other. Like, those are
brutal.
Those are bad news. And we did this. Rob, you were there with me some weekends. The neighborhood kids, Justin and Wesley, were putting their backs into it. We were digging our little huts off. Did we ever play anything in that?
I don't know if we did. Like, I feel like we must have, because the thing is, like, it put so much effort into it.
So not only did we excavate, we excavated in a kind of a we put down some black plastic sheeting
because we wanted to fill it with water so that we could kind of recreate this final scene from issue 12. But like, I know my memory's bad, so I mean, like, for me not to remember something is kind of like, we all know that's kind of all right. It's like, okay, Rob doesn't remember, that's fair enough.
But you remember the excavating, right?
I remember doing that. I remember taking out the sand, kind of having to like get little pieces of rocks and stuff out of there. I remember, I think, laying down the matting at some point as well. And I feel like I was there when we filled it up with water too. I feel like I was definitely there for that.
Filling over a while, like, when you're young, these things take forever.
Yeah, because like you're in the moment a lot more as a child. Like if it doesn't happen right now, it's not worth doing. But somehow this was a long-term project that was definitely felt like it was 100% worth doing. But I mean, do you remember us ever playing in there?
I think when you take together the accumulated time of excavating, putting the sheeting down, putting the hose pipe in and letting it fill, I think we were hard up against the deadline. Like, you had to go. It was Sunday afternoon. Like we were done, your mother was here to fetch you.
Always early, by the way.
Oh, really? Jesus. Catch you off guard. Mom, I need to pack my socks and my toothbrush.
I'm not done yet. We're in the back garden.
That's why you always left your toys at my place, because there wasn't any time to bundle them back into your bag.
Exactly.
I remember sneaking out after dark, lighting candles, and setting up a dock, and taking wetsuit version, I suppose, 4. This is the black wetsuit with orange highlights, and having him do a sneak and peek. Like, he would kind of climb up out of the water, duck behind a few sheds, and like basically just check out this locale. And I do also remember parking, I think maybe the core Piranha patrol boat thing. It actually floated adequately enough to be parked at this sort of dock for a little while. So yeah, vague snapshots of doing these things, but never getting to do issue 12. And then several weekends later, go back out there to find my father had filled it in. This was mind-blowing to me as a 11 or 12-year-old. Like, the amount of labor we put into excavate it was Herculean. It was monumental. It was backbreaking. It was like we were doing this epic DIY job. We were building a house back there, basically. And to see how quickly it had been like filled in and like covered over, and like nothing had even happened. Zero residual presence was quite a reality check, I guess, about how things can be relative. Like, to a child, this is immense.
Yeah, it took forever to do that, but your dad kind of fills up real quick. But I feel like he wouldn't have allowed you to do it unless he could kind of like foresee that like this is probably a good thing. Like it's gonna make that lane. It was the lane on the side at the back of the house essentially. It's gonna actually make it better. Like there's probably a bunch of stuff in there that he didn't like, that it was very kind of like cobbly or like messed up. So he was like, okay, you guys do that for me for free. You can play with it for a little bit, but in the end, I'm going to fill it up and I'm going to get my wonderful lane back here.
Also, you'll learn how to use a pickaxe. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, watch yourself, young man. Look, I think he's a little bit more gracious than that even. I don't think there was any constructive reason for us to be doing that, for him anyways. But he let us do it as a kind of an appeasement. And having two boys now, I foresee myself doing that a lot. Like, I know this is just going to make a massive mess that I will ultimately have to tidy up myself in the dead of night or whenever, while you're at school. But go for it, boys. Just fuck up my yard. Thanks.
No.
Yeah,
it's worth it before that time that they leave me alone for a couple of more hours.
Like,
but Paul, do you have anything to add about issue 12? Sorry,
dude, the one. No, it's cool.
I actually
guys, I really enjoyed hearing that story. It made me think of something similar. But just to come back to the issue, so quite notable for me is seeing Snake Eyes' face, sort of. I know that when I was rereading the issues through the graphic novels, it was kind of an exciting thing, and also it's surprising to me that you saw a bit of Snake Eyes' face so soon.
Yeah, he is unmasked in several of the scenes. Yes, it's kind of covered by shadow, but you get the reactions from the other characters of like what does he look like?
Yeah,
and
like
it is kind of jarring.
It is, right? So I mean, you got like a hamburger face or whatever the hell it is. So like, I remember like when I picked up those trades, which was quite a bit before I got back into the toys or was able to get back into the toys. That was quite a cool experience for me because I felt like I was having that. I was actually having that for the first time, but I kind of had that nostalgia for being an 11-year-old in the 80s or something and being able to read that. And there's actually, I think there's a word for it. There's a word for that kind of nostalgia, even though you didn't really experience it. Anyway, so I had that. So this book kind of has that for me as well. I also enjoy the high energy panels of this book.
Yes. The artist or the pencils for the issue is Mike Vosberg. I'm not sure how many other issues he worked on, but
amazing.
He does have great. He really enjoys putting down multiple panels. Like I think a lot of the time he uses a lot more panels than you would see from a lot of other artists, but also creative use of panels.
Yeah.
Like especially in the sequence at the start, because the whole story starts off in San Francisco. That's kind of like the inciting incident. You get some great panels of kind of like very long panels where you kind of get the feeling of the hills of San Francisco.
Yes.
Steven is showing one of those panels now. You kind of get the feeling on it. Kind of the panel goes all the way down on the left, and then the rest of the story carries on the rest of the page. Like Mike wasn't afraid to use multiple panels to tell his stories, and also lots of like wider angles and like angles that were further away from the characters, where you kind of got to see a lot of the scene and also the relation of characters and things to each other, which I think helps in your brain kind of set up where things are.
And not for nothing, this issue feels very cinematic. Just even from the opening shot, you turn the page and you got that Naga, the Nagahana, like video store truck kind of barreling at you, and it immediately just feels like you're watching the beginning of like Beverly Hills Cop or something, with a car chase.
Yeah.
It's like shake down, like it's got a whole vibe to it, and I really enjoy it. I also just want to just want to shout out to Mike Vosberg here for just being an incredible page designer. Your panels are incredible. Like I'd love to, like, these are the kind of panels I'd love to have, sort of the pencils for, because they're just so well designed. Look at the expressions on all of these people's faces.
Yeah, it's just like random characters just on a page, and it feels like a lived-in world, And yeah, his ability to kind of relate things to other things in his head and translate it onto the page is fantastic.
Also, something that I wanted to throw out, notice the sort of minimal onomatopoeia in this book. So you go crash, like you're seeing it now on the screen for the viewers, but a lot of the machine gun fire isn't accompanied by things like rat-a-tats. It's
Sure.
and there's a lot of movement. What I'm trying to say is there's a lot happening in these pages that you can hear it in your brain. You hear the of the cars, you hear the people going, oh my god, you know, that kind of thing in your brain. You
he
hear
uses
that.
the sound effect when it's necessary, but not all the time. A lot of the sound is kind of punctuated by the movement of he kind of adds lots of movement lines.
No, gents, I'm
but
going
that's
to disagree
happening.
with you both at this point. Like the
No,
I think the watchword with onomatopoeia is like you pick your dominant sound. You're not going to do the entire soundscape on the page, but you are going to add the rat-a-tat-tat because it's the loudest. You are going to add the badadoom because it's the loudest.
Yeah, you get
and then like this.
Of course,
this is hilarious.
Well,
that
I
the
think
thugs are raining down. They're giving is it Breaker a beat down?
I think it's Breaker.
Yeah.
And they say biff bop bash.
Well, I think often why he adds it in is just kind of just give you is to clarify what is going on there. It's like, why is he being helped? Because they're beating up on him. Because otherwise, it would just be two characters kind of standing there. There's no motion in what the figures. The figures. Yeah, a little bit of flash. But what does that mean? Is that an explosion or they're shooting him? So I think adding that in there, because the posing of the figures themselves doesn't explicitly suggest what is going on in
because
that
you
panel.
also got Scarlet and Stalker at the top there as well, so you kind of also
so you often add the motion lines as well, as you'll see in the previous panel. Like there's a little bat there that's kind of to suggest that he's bashed into the guy, but you see the motion of the movement of the case, and that's why he's been bashed back there. I feel like he is still very economical in his use of the sound effects.
Yes.
But yes, they are very much 80s sound effects. Like you would.
Yeah, but like
when you biff bop bashing someone, it doesn't actually sound like you biff bop bashing them.
So is it the letterer who does the sound effects, or is that baked in? Is that what
it depends?
Okay.
It depends.
I think it depends.
Some pencilers do it. Some pencilers don't.
Yeah.
So
and then I mean, if they don't add it much themselves, it will then come down to the house style, I guess. It's like you have to have the sound effects in there to kind of make some sort of impact.
But
something that you mentioned about Snake Eyes' face being partially revealed in this issue. What is also quite telling, it's the first appearance of Snake Eyes' flesh. And you can tell at the very least that the intention is maybe that he's Caucasian, though these Sierra Gordons are also colored with the same tone, so maybe he could be Hispanic. But either way,
you still don't know for sure.
Or Central American, but like it does kind of narrow things a little bit. He's not black, for instance.
Yeah, he's human.
So you are discovering more about him in this issue, even if you don't actually know what his face looks like.
And I dig that exchange between Snake Eyes and Quinn as well. So there's that whole moment where Quinn comes in and basically shoots the guns out of everybody's hands, but Snake Eyes, and then Snake Eyes is, like Snake Eyes and Quinn are like having this chat, and he's like, "Do you remember how I saved your life? Or perhaps you're wondering why I didn't shoot the gun out of your hand. It's because the hammer is all the way back. Like it's showing that you have no ammo. Blah blah blah." So it's like, I'm actually being honorable, but I'm also telling you that I'm observant and I'm practical. So you have to decide.
It continues the establishment of the character that we got in that earlier issue. Which I think is great. It's a great callback.
A little rookie for Snake Eyes to have an Uzi that is dry and still be pointing it. I guess he might have known that his weapon was empty, but he was bluffing.
Yeah.
He wanted to make him think that this was a legitimate standoff, whereas actually, Quinn's got an unspent belt of bullets, and Snake Eyes is sitting with a dry mag.
Which is the Quinn effect, right? Because having Quinn there tells you that, he's somebody that Snake Eyes can't easily trick. and the viewers need that, because Quinn has easily, or Snake Eyes has easily tricked other characters in the earlier issues and whatever's before. The last thing I want to just put out there is I enjoy the scene because it's ambiguous. Is Quinn actually is he actually being honorable, or is he just being pragmatic? Or did he actually make a mistake and doesn't know how to cover it well? And that's a fun little thing about Quinn as a character. Yeah.
I think Quinn, while his contract is still in play and unfulfilled, it's the letter of the law that takes honor doesn't come into it. He will honor his obligation and act anyway in accordance, in order to achieve that. Once he's fulfilled the obligation, then he is able to play the honorable man card. I think that's the duality with Quinn. That's why he's able to take Cobra's money. And I'm sure he's done some pretty heinous things in the service of Cobra.
Oh,
but
for sure.
Yeah. Just like Snake Eyes. Oh, sorry, just like with Storm Shadow, I feel like the comic book is good at cutting away and not showing you the more damning things. Because how do you work for Cobra without doing stuff that is bad? You cannot be virtuous and and good if you're working for the bad guys. But Larry is quite selective about showing these guys in a good light. He's never shown Storm Shadow take a life, an innocent life.
Yeah.
And he's never shown Quinn doing something that is dishonorable. I mean,
and rightfully
Quinn,
so. I mean,
Quinn never had to kill to get the paranoia device in the issue 2 appearance.
Yes.
Those guys at the Russian station, they killed themselves, and he just walked in there and took it.
Yeah.
But had they not done that, would he have their blood on his hands? Probably.
Also, I definitely didn't go anywhere that I could see. Steven disappeared.
Oh.
Yeah. Sorry, I was trying to keep the air going for as long as possible.
Oh shit. No, go you, Rob.
We could definitely cut that a little bit out.
Well, it's all good, man. Don't stress. Just for the listeners and viewers, when we record, sometimes if one of us disappears, there is actually a main catch, and so what you've been hearing the whole time is actually the main catch. Rob, for some reason, you disappeared off the main catch, so it's fine.
That's all right.
But the professional that you are, you just kept on trucking until the lights came back on.
Going.
I love it.
But
damn it, I wish I'd heard what you had to say, Robbie.
Yeah.
Well, you will never know. But what I do know is this has been an amazing episode. 397. We talked comics, we talked toys, we talked cartoons. Great fun. Great fun overall. And we even shared an incredible cornerstone memory that Stephen and I share of laboring away in a back alley, creating our
back alley.
in the backyard spaces.
But if you would like to listen to more comic book talk on GI Joburg, look no further than the alternate channel, feed, whatever, episodes. It's called Chasing Joe. It's on the channel. You don't have to go anywhere. GI Joburg is where it is, where it's hosted. It's with me.
Don't leave,
and my
guys.
buddy Ben.
If you want to hear more,
dudes,
talk to Ben, guys. Talk to him.
I would highly recommend it. I know it's minus these two criminals. Maybe we'll have them on as guests, but Ben is an absolute delight. His energy for this brand is giving me life at the moment. So I thank you, Ben, for, and also the opportunity to talk about these comic books
in depth
is always going to be a pleasure, especially when they are focused on the individual issue itself. Zooming out from any of the sort of arcs or anything like that, we take each issue by itself, break it down, have a chat about it, because Ben is collecting the entire run of GI Joe in floppy form at random.
320 plus episodes. That is fantastic.
Whenever he finds an issue for a deal that he's prepared to, part with the shekels, He will purchase it. It'll arrive in the mail, and we will discuss that week's issue.
Wow.
It's completely random. He's filling in holes in his collection as he goes. Sometimes we're getting donations from very kind listeners, so we thank those guys for helping us out in that regard. But yeah, the playlist is random, and I don't know what I'm going to be reading until a few days in advance. The listenership has no idea, so maybe we'll do a personal favorite of yours. You never know. Maybe issue 15 is coming up. Maybe this issue will come up in due course.
It might happen. It might not happen. I mean, obviously, it'll eventually happen. But you guys should really be listening to Chasing Joe. Do it, because it's good. It's great fun. Comics are great.
Something that I love about that, about the Chasing Joe spinoff, should I say? I love the scene that Ben paints. Like he will like go into the week or the month of this comic's release and what was happening at that time in the world. Like in terms of pop culture, maybe it touches a little bit on a world, some kind of a world event, but it's usually like what's happening with video games,
movies,
what's happening with
comics,
movies,
games,
what's happening with comics. Yeah, it's awesome for that because he does create a wonderful little like window into the past.
Beautiful.
So guys, please go and check it out in between watching your regular GI Joburg episodes.
Yeah.
And and then I suppose to add to that, GI Joburg has got a YouTube membership that you can support, or a Patreon, which you guys can pop into if you wish to support the channel further than liking and subscribing, which, by the way, we really appreciate. And it's not expected, and you're not obligated.
Watching is the best thing you could do. But thanks to the Patronites and the YouTube members, you keep our coffee on and our light warm.
Yeah, and it does help us get our hands on some cool Super 7 guys and whatever else.
Oh my goodness!
To talk about
and you've helped Steven expand his Barracuda collection. Now he's got 3 of them.
3 Barracudas. Yeah. Yes. Blue on the top, black on the top, blue on the middle, black in the middle.
Steven just loves all the variations of this thing.
Barracuda.
I don't think I'm going to put together an all blue and all black Barracuda because I like the color breaks.
No, you have to have 5 of them, Steven. Your childhood one that's got the nice color breaks, and then you have to. You can't stop now.
So Rob, which one do you think I had as a child? Which color? Black in the middle or blue in the middle?
It's the one in your right hand. It's the blue. It's got the blue top part.
The blue top. Yep, that's correct. But the one with the black top and the blue in the middle, I believe to be the earlier version because the box art is depicting this version, and also the Deke animation appearance of the Barracuda has this colorization.
Like I mean, I honestly I feel it looks cooler with more black than blue. But yeah, the blue, more blue than black, is more familiar.
Very heartwarming story, boys. My son had his graduation photograph. He's 4.
Congrats!
Nothing.
He's finally
Kid,
finished
you got a lot of schooling ahead of you, I'm afraid. But in his sort of ridiculous, with the cap, with the scroll, in the robe, he's holding a board that they have written with chalk to say, "When I grow up, I want to be a." And what does Elliot put there?
A GI Joe.
A submarine driver.
What?
That, my friends, is how profound his favorite plaything has been in his life. He loves the Barracuda. Loves this toy.
A parenting hack: be sure to get your kid a tech billionaire action figure. No, I kid.
Or just be James Cameron, right?
Yeah, just be James Cameron.
That's just amazing, dude.
Another pickup this week. We've got a Skyhawk.
What?
Sky Patrol Skyhawk.
Oh.
How shiny that is.
Wow.
I have a fun story about this Skyhawk. It was misassembled.
I can see that.
Well, okay. So it's got a green Skyhawk's canopy, but that's because the black one that I had was broken. That was disclosed in the listing. So
fair enough. At least they were honest.
They were honest.
I appreciate that. Honesty, guys.
This seat was what was misassembled. It was not in properly.
No.
And that caused the damage. because I could see this thing's provenance. I could see its history. I could see that because the seat was not locked in its fully down position, that when they put the canopy in and attempted to close it for the first time, it didn't close. And they jammed it until the little posts snapped. And then it just spiraled from there. Like I could see that, yes, so the reason these parts, the stabilizers, are glued is because they kept falling out because it's just a friction fit. I let the seller know these various observations and said, like, a lot of these parts have been glued on, and this presence of like gluing here and there. Like, if this was disclosed in the listing, maybe I would have had second thoughts about buying. The seller, to his credit, was very understanding and said, "Let me give you a partial refund." How's that? So
this guy's
awesome
amazing. Wow.
Yeah. And Sky Patrol stuff, let me tell you, ain't cheap, man. This is absolutely the deal of the month to try and get this. And I've had, I whet my appetite ever since I picked up a beta in a box at a toy market for Elliot.
Oh, beautiful.
And it's just, look at that bad boy. That, you can't really tell, but the chrome, obviously, on this one, the newer one,
the
expensive
shinier.
one, much shinier. This is very dull.
Dull,
but my lighting would suggest otherwise.
No,
Anyway,
I can see it's duller.
Elliot loves his Skyhawk, and
there we go.
It spurred me on to get the Sky Patrol Skyhawk. So the only thing I'm lacking from Sky Patrol is the Havoc.
Wow. Wow. Maybe one day that dream will come true. Who knows? Who knows?
The Skyhawk. Anyway, cool guys. I think that is.
Cool. Nice.
I think
that's
that is
$397.
Yeah.
$297. Welcome. Hope you guys had a great time. $398. We're going to talk about something. Probably a toy.
And tell us how much you loved the animated episode in the comments.
Please.
Did you enjoy issue 12 of the comic book? And what are your thoughts on the Reaction Plus Super 7 Wave? Yeah, let us know in the comments, guys, and in the comments or the chats, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Yeah.
Future topic suggestion.
Ooh.
The malady of having to assemble your own vehicles and misassembling them. Because I got a few stories. I mean, this Skyhawk story, like, just I suddenly was transported back in time to all the times where, like, I mean, the amount of trust, the amount of trust Hasbro put in us to be able to read that dense bit of text at the bottom of the blueprints and follow the pictures and know exactly what hole or how deep to press something in or where to seat it. Oh boy.
Kids that grew up in the 80s were built different.
Yeah, we read good.
I'm sure mistakes were made. I made a few of them. This guy made a few of them.
It's proof of Join us $3.99, guys, where we're going to talk about how bad reading comprehension really was in the 80s.
Yeah.
How bad I effed up my collection. Go, Joe.
I need this one.
Berg.